Okay.
Cool. So do you have any questions in regards to this design or anything that you need to know?
So this land is titled or yet to be titled? Or?
So
it'll be...
Yeah.
Oh, you go.
Okay, so this land here, they're just reconfiguring at the moment if this is the one that we've considered. I think this is going to be around about that July or August, probably more like August that will be titled. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah, it is. And we've had about a week or two of rain, which has just tampered us a little bit more. So we're having a lot of rain up here at the moment. So it'll definitely be August. Maybe the later part of August at this point, only due to weather.
Yep. So what that normally means there is you're looking at about a 16 to 20 week build time from that component. Of course, you've got some planning and permits and that to do from there. So the easiest thing to say is, look, you don't have to, let's say we did a deposit of $1,000, which is refundable. From there, that will option the property, get the contracts put together, get the land contracts put together. Then from there, that's going to give you time to get your finance sorted and approved properly. You're going to settle on the property and you're going to start on the normal build construction period. It's going to be ready early 2022. From there, what's going to happen is around about September, October, depending on when you want to take a day off, you and I will jump on a plane and we'll go up there and we'll have a look at the house, most likely at Frame or wherever. We don't have to do this, but I'm happy to offer you that so that you can get the experience to go and see your property under construction. Once it's complete, because we give you a 3-year rental guarantee, what that means is, but essentially, even if the property doesn't rent out, we're going to stand behind you so you don't have any stress physically at all. What I want you to basically get the advantage of is because I'm offering you a significant discount and the land value is going up, what will hopefully happen is when you're ready for your next property, we can pull the equity out of that property as well. So once you've got 2 or 3 properties, all you need to ever do moving forwards is maybe give us $1,000 and we pull the equity and you might have 5-10 grand kicking around that you might need to tip in for some fees. That means that you should be able to build your wealth considerably well and slowly, but without stress, but then also get money coming in. And what I would do with the positive income that's coming in is use that money to pay down your personal debt, which might be your house or your cars, and to get rid of that because that's non-tax deductible. And then we'll do that. Also in place, I'll give you an incentive if you give me referrals, which I know you will. I don't expect that. I just know that if I ask 100 people, if I pick up, 10% of that, there's another 10 deals a year just from by asking the question. What we're going to do today is Matt's going to come up with an option for you. What I'd like to do, Van, if you don't mind, is start a WhatsApp chat so that me, you, and Matt can speak in the chat. And when we get something, we'll dump the plan into the chat, and then you can look at it in real time. And then let us know. I know your wife might have been concerned about the capital growth in Logan, but I'll just get Matt to give you his interpretation of what's happening in Logan just for a minute. Matt, what's your feel in terms of the growth and where that's sitting?
Look, with the growth at the moment, we've got the Gold Coast corridor, which this estate abuts onto, right, is just totally sold out. There's big demand at the moment, and I just cannot get any properties. I'd love to say, hey, look, I'll put you down the road, but there is no options down there. Logan has got big growth. The government's spending a lot of money in the area. They're doing a lot of infrastructure upgrades. They're doing a lot on the roads. And generally and the shopping centres and the schools. So usually where the government, and that's just the government money, right? So where the government's spending all the money and for the big growth, that's usually where the population's going to increase. It's the dual occupancy. The government's coming down a little bit harder on doing new dual occupancy. So there's only a limited amount of these that are going to be available. So I think you'll get good capital growth out of there. I think the main thing that you should be worried about, considering, not worried about, but is your vacancies. Vacancies are very low down in this area. There's really good rental demand. We've had a lot of people coming from down south, moving up into this region. They want to be it's sort of how can I put it? The way Brisbane's made up, you've got Brisbane, you've got Gold Coast down the bottom there, Ipswich is out to the west, and then and the Sunshine Coast up there. Logan, they've got Beenleigh, which is right in the middle. It's servicing all the workers in that area, either service Brisbane or they can service the Gold Coast, or they're pretty close to Ipswich. It's right in the middle. So it's actually got a strong demand in there. You'll find that the prices have been going up quite a lot. It's still got more to go, a lot more to go, but and you're finding that the old Logan, which I'll just mention the demographics there of what you could have been reading about, that's starting to change. They're going a lot further out now. So I don't know. Have you got something down there, Steve, down there that's sort of similar?
That feels like Logan.
That demographics and what have you of how the prices have gone up and the
probably but the points there would be Cranbourne and Clyde would be the feel in terms of how the prices have jumped up 50 to 80 grand. That's kind of when I drove and when I went into Logan, that's what it felt like to me. Like it felt like that area. Also a little bit like the back end of Geelong is kind of where that, you have a mix of residential, old, and then also new. But what the most exciting thing is for Logan is it's predominantly in the areas that we're looking at, all brand new property. So that means that your neighbor, you don't have a nice house, shit house. They're nice streets. Now, what that means is it's visually appealing. It's sexy to the tenants and also good for you to know that you're in a brand new area with full depreciation. And I think the other way is when you come up and have a look at it for yourself, you'll see it. But that Bars Scrub's really growing quite well. It's more of an infill area as well. So what that means is that you're getting really high. It's in an area you just can't get that close to Logan anymore, into the CBD or the city. So it means that the houses around it are established and it's not waiting for shopping centres and schools and things and public transport to turn up. All that infrastructure is already there, which is good for your tenants. Now, we could sell you, if you wanted to, Van, I could sell you into Ipswich, and I could probably get you into there for 550, 560,000. Tell you it's a good area, which it is. But in saying that, I want to do what's best for you. If it was me in your situation, how I think is, what would I do if it's Van? I would buy in Logan. Now, if you only had a budget of 550 right now, I would talk to you and I'd say Ipswich is a really high growing area. It's fantastic, and it is. But the thing is with Ipswich is that it's left of centre, meaning you don't drive through it between Gold Coast and Brisbane. Where you get the most traffic, unfortunately, is where you get the growth. But if someone has to turn left to go into the town, then you're not going to get as much capital because it's more like a satellite city. Logan's kind of in the middle. I think that's it. I think what we'll do is let's just get you a really good property. It seems like if we presented the right deal, hopefully you'd be right to go. I'm just going to do the best I can. It doesn't worry me whether it's a yes or no, but obviously you're sitting here. I know you're interested. Let's just see if we can help you create the wealth, Ben. I like your energy and I do genuinely want to help you. I like people. Like, we need to like each other first. If I don't, it's not going to work. Then we need to build on the trust. So hence the trust is that if you and Matt want to talk separately and you want to ask questions, that's okay. Thirdly, I know we've got your wife, but I know you've got that under control. If she believes in you, you'll get the deal done. And then fourthly, last but not least, we need a deposit, because at the end of the day, money makes the world go round. So it'll be, when we're ready, $1,000 deposit, always refundable, subject to finance. And then we don't really need any more money until your finance is approved and you're ready to go. You do have, a few months up your sleeve to get everything right. So that's takes off a lot of pressure. But I can tell you this. I had a friend of mine, he bought one property and now he's up to his fourth in Jewel Key. The reason for it is, if you go, are you on your phone or you're on an iPad?
I'm on my phone.
Okay. So if you go $700 times 4, it's $2,800. Okay. Yeah. So the reason he needs to make that amount of money is this. He told me last year they're going to get married and have a baby. So he makes good money fly in, fly out. So what I'm trying to make him is the same money that he was making from his fly in, fly out. Now, he was making close to 200 grand a year. So he's going to buy one more property. But what we're doing is we're allowing him to spend more time at home with his family. At the moment, you have an advantage, which is you get to work from home. But at some point, the government might send you back in. Everybody likes it at home now. But ideally, you want to have choice. You want to say, I want to work 3 days a week, and my properties make that, or your wife might want to be at home full time. Why I'm showing you that is depending on how your head thinks. But can I ask you, in 5 years, like how many properties are you wanting to own?
I mean, as many as I can.
Great answer. But you have to, you know what? Can you do me a favor? When you and I do an interview one day, because I'll do a testimonial, say that answer. That was amazing. I like it. Good answer. High five. That's good. Thank you. Matty, I need one from you too, bud.
Yeah, mate.
High five.
I'll do both.
Good man. Good man. And that's the sort of people we want to deal with. I don't want to deal with 100 people. I prefer to deal with 20 people that want to own 100 properties. That's a better way of doing it, because then we show the depth. Now, in saying that, we'll always discount and look after you because you're like the leader, but all I want you to do is just talk about it at the barbecues. That's it, mate. I want to thank you for your time today. Do you have any last questions? Are you excited about what we've talked about so far?
Yeah. So just before you go, like, I want to, like, with the payment stuff, like, you said that $1,000 deposit when we, like, good to go. Yeah. Like, what would the next payments would be like?
Matt, do you want to? We don't really need anything, but Matt, do you want to? Unless the land people need money.
So the deposit holds the package for you. So what we do is I then put the package on hold within the office. We'll then go up and make contracts. The contracts then get prepared and then sent over to you. At that point, there's no money that's involved. It will go subject to finance, so we'll have to, that they'll let you have a time frame to get your finance ready. The land's not ready at the moment anyway, so we're not. So it's not as if we can go to land settlement or any of that sort of type stuff. We're still got to wait till August for that to take effect. So from a dollar and cents point of view, besides maybe going for finance and maybe getting a solicitor to look at your contract, I think that's basically all you'll be up for.
I mean, like after the title, let's say in August, let's say we're talking about August or September, when the title happens.
Normally, I might explain a bit there. So let's say the package price is, 580,000 thereabouts, okay? That's roughly. So normally 10% of that is like 58 grand. So we call it 60-60, okay? Ideally, for this type of loan, what we need is normally about 120 grand of equity is where you need to be. Now you can pull that from your house. That is the money that's going to need to be transferred from your house to Home Corp or on settlement for you to do that. So your 580 is then going to take you down to a loan of say 460 plus some fees roughly. So you're going to owe 460. The good news is now is you now own 2 properties and both are going up in value. What's going to happen is a massive amount of momentum. As you know, you're going to get one property go up 10%, another property go up 10%. You've already got your next deposit. But that's going to be really easy for you. But we don't really need anything till about August. And that will be upon settlement, will be that 120 grand.
So after 120, the next payment from banks would be
progress payments. Yep.
Okay.
And depending on how you do the loan, sometimes the banks, sorry, Matt, sometimes the banks do progress payments where they don't charge you the progress payments. It's built into the loan, so you can actually not hurt your cash flow. Have you got some money in the bank?
Yeah.
Okay, well then, worst case scenario, then it might be $4,000 to $5,000 in drawdowns.
Okay.
Depends on which bank you use. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, why people do business with this is this. where if you tried to buy a car and you said to the car dealer, I'll give you $1,000 and I'll give you the rest on completion, or buy a car privately, you probably couldn't do it. You couldn't go to, you couldn't go to McDonald's and say, give me $2,000 worth of McDonald's and give you $1,000. Here, we're happy to do $1,000 on a $580,000 purchase. That's a lot of leverage. The key is in real estate is leverage. This is what I'm trying to educate you, is what can you do with $1,000 to make you 580 grand? Once again, refundable, but it's, we only need $1,000 and then 120 roughly. Then from there, the other money would be the progress payments. Yeah, and your broker will work it out. We'll give you that. What I would recommend though, if it's okay with both you guys, is we would use a Queensland-based solicitor for this one, because you need to have a Queensland solicitor. Matt's got, I normally use CJM or someone like that, but Matt's got a couple that we might recommend separate, because we're going to run these deals independently. So have you got somebody in mind, Matt, that we could use to help us with this?
There's some I can throw together. I've got no preference for any, but just to have some names and numbers, I can put that in the WhatsApp for you.
Matt, find me the best one that's maybe not even a CJM that has a trust account, and we'll use them in future for House Land Co deals. Okay, so
no worries.
We'll work on that. Mate, Ven, they're really good questions anyway, but basically what's going to happen is we'll give you a package today. If you're happy, then we need $1,000 deposit. That's it.
Okay. But Steve, with some of the builders, like how they charge 10% during the title, and then they take away the rest of the money after the completion,
that's called so that there's called a one-part contract. Generally, that's not done anymore, because the builder then has to hold 90% of the finance, and most builders don't have that much money to do that. And the other reason for it is they normally do that on their own stock, like they've got their own townhouses or something like that. And I tell you a secret, you're paying for it somewhere. They've built it into the price. So it's actually more expensive to do what's called a one-part contract as a two. And the other thing, one other last secret for you, is if you do that type of contract, you actually pay stamp duty on 580 grand, not the 284,000. So you end up paying a higher stamp duty. So instead of your stamp duty being like 8 grand or 10 grand, it's going to be more like 25 grand. So it's a trap. The only way that we're going to do a one-part contract is if you rang me and you said, if you have money in super, you and your wife, if you had more than 150 grand, then I would be recommending that you buy a property in your self-managed super fund that has a high rental yield. And that's another conversation, but I can definitely help you out with that. Basically, anything property related, because I've done it for so long, I can pretty well sell. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't even have Matt on here if he's a terrible builder. Sorry, Matt, but I only deal with good people, because my weakest link, even my customer, will reflect on me. If I have a bad customer, it would be bad for my reviews. So I'd rather not have the sale. I want a 4.9. Yeah.
If you were after a one-part contract, but I can offer that in this estate only. Like the estate that I've got, the developer is actually after. I'm not saying for this deal, but just talk to Steve about that. But it's rare that you get a one-part contract up here. But I do actually have some in that estate. But I'm not trying to sell that to you. That's just with Steve. But just know that there's an option there. But he is right. The stamp duty is an additional fee. Like you're paying stamp duty on a higher amount. It's on the overall purchase price. Whereas if you're doing a two-part contract, you're only paying the stamp duty on the land. But you don't. So Steve's absolutely 100% correct on that. But I'll let Steve give the advice in that department.
And then 20% deposit for it. Not the 10% deposit. You need 20% deposit, right? Like you said, 120K.
You do for dual keys, unless the only way that you will get a 10% deposit down is, and we haven't touched on this, but you need to use one of my brokers. I have a specific broker that's connected with Home Corp, and they have a special loan attached for dual keys. So if that's a conversation you want to have, and that's why I asked about your broker before, I have a broker that I would recommend. Do you want to have a chat to my broker, or would you prefer to do a 10% or 20% loan?
I prefer 10% because, like how people say for investment properties, the more money you get from banks, the more interest you pay, and you can show it for your
definitely,
for the tax benefits.
Yeah, 100%. One moment, guys. One moment. One sec. Can you guys chat?
So, are you on holidays at the moment, or are you working, Ben?
No, I'm actually working from home, Matt.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I'm in the office. They've called me back in, so yeah, we were doing hours in here, but I've got the kids at home.
yeah. Same here. Like school holidays here, Victoria. So.
Yeah. I've got 3 of them at home, so I've just got my mother over at the moment looking after them.
So what we might do is, however you get your finance, that's okay. We've got some time to sort that out. So all we need to do in the meantime is let's find a package, and whether it's 10%, 20%, most banks, 95% of banks are going to be 20%, just so you know. But I can give you one other secret bit of sauce, okay? Let's say you could get the finance at 10%. Let's say you could. The advantage is with that is that if you want another property sooner, if you want to make more cash, you can then buy your second property almost straight away. You don't have to, but that's how my friend did his deals. Instead of tipping in 20%, he went 10%, and that's how he's picked up 4. So because now otherwise he only would have had 2 and then have to wait. And because the cash is much higher than the repayments, he just now owns his house. Like he paid off his Land Cruiser, he paid off his wife's car. Like it all happened really, really rapidly. He didn't expect it to happen so quick. And of course, being a friend of 25 years, I'm not going to rip my friend off. I need to look after him, otherwise he'll hunt me down. But we're not going to do that. And the same goes with you. I'll give you the same strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a WhatsApp chat. I'm going to introduce you to Mina as well, my finance broker, to give you a call in the meantime. And then you guys have a chat. Maddie, I need you to get a property today if you can.
I'll get the package.
And give us
solicitors.
And give us a good discount. Then I need $1,000 deposit, and you need to talk to your wife. That's it.
Yep. All good.
Yeah. All right, mate. Ven, thank you so much, mate. Love you lots. I look forward to seeing you in the flesh soon. Guys, high five. Last high five. 1, 2, 3.
No worries.
Okay, perfect.
It's nice meeting you, Ben.
Thanks,
nice
mate. I'll start a chat now. See you guys.
Yeah, can you just put Ben's email address in?
What I'll do is I'll start the WhatsApp chat, and then can you put your email address in the chat for us? What we need?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, fantastic.
Document for you.
Yeah.
All
beautiful.
right.
Thanks, mate. See you guys.
Thanks for your time, guys. Thank you. Bye.